Welcome to this course tour of Anthropology 1120 Archaeology Discovering Our Past. This course is accelerated and is paired with chemistry. This brief tour shows how I have incorporated Section 508, Quality Matters Accessibility Criteria, as well as Universal Design Principles into the course. This is the introductory module for the course. I will use this module to demonstrate how I've incorporated Section 508 and Quality Matters Criteria 8 into this module. Section 508 stipulates that federal agencies must make their electronic information and information technology accessible to people with disabilities, and Quality Matters Criteria 8 involves making courses both accessible and usable. First, I'll explain how the module outcomes reflect the course outcomes. The outcomes are important for understanding the resources and assessments I have chosen for the module. Module Outcome 1 is about defining key concepts in archaeology, which ties in directly with the first course outcome. The second module outcome involves summarizing different approaches in archaeology, which is also identical to the second course outcome. Outcome 3 involves identifying characteristics of early human sites, which relates to the course outcome of describing characteristics of various archaeological sites and time periods. The fourth and fifth module outcomes involve using archaeological evidence to make inferences and ties in with the course outcome of explaining how archaeologists use evidence to make inferences about the past. The final module outcome is to effectively discuss archaeotourism, which articulates with the course outcome of effectively discussing social and ethical issues in archaeology. Quality Matters Criteria 8.1 requires that course navigation facilitates ease of use. Toward that end, I use learning modules and outlines of activities and graded assessments in each learning module. These are in table formats with heading titles, thereby meeting Section 508G criteria. Each module contains multiple items, and students are directed toward the next item in the sequence. To meet Quality Matters Criteria 8.2, information is provided about the accessibility of all technologies required in the course. Information about accessibility, such as longer descriptions of images, as shown here, closed captioning, as shown here, and transcripts, is included with each item in the learning module. To meet Quality Matters Criteria 8.3, the course, quote, provides alternative means of access to course materials in formats that meet the needs of diverse learners. Specifically, I use text, videos, images, podcasts, and other media to accommodate diverse learning preferences. The first resource I use, which meets with Quality Matters Criteria 8.3, are chapters. The chapters cover key concepts reflecting Module Outcome 1. These concepts are listed in bold here, which are emphasized by screen readers. These terms are further reiterated in the course glossary. To access the course glossary, the student goes to the course menu on the left-hand side of the screen and selects Glossary. The terms are listed in alphabetical order, and the student can scroll through the alphabet up here, select the letter of the term, and find the word that they are looking for and the associated definition. The chapters also meet other module outcomes of summarizing approaches in archaeology, identifying site characteristics, and explaining how inferences are made. The text is useful to students who prefer written modes of delivery, but the chapters also include images, illustrations, and charts that reinforce the text. To meet the standards of Section 508, the chapters can be narrated using a screen reader.
Writing is powerful stuff. The ancient Maya revered the writings of their ancestors and thought that reading ancient texts literally brought their ancestors back to this plane of existence.
Headings are also used such that a screen reader can navigate easily between sections of the text. The chapters themselves are accessed using a simple link which meets Quality Matters Standard 8.5, Ease of Use. The next resource I use that meets Quality Matters Standards 8.3 is a timeline. The timeline provides students with a quick interactive visual of the dates of different sites, artifacts, and time periods. It may be particularly useful for people who prefer visual information. Since the timeline is interactive, it may also be helpful to students who prefer kinesthetic modes of learning. The timeline supports the module outcome of summarizing characteristics of early human sites and artifacts. To meet Section 508A requirements for those unable to view the timeline, I include a text description of the key elements for this module. A screen reader could also narrate this text. I also use alternative text to meet 508A such that screen readers can identify the image of this timeline. There also are multiple ways to access the timeline meeting Quality Matters Standards 8.5, Ease of Use. A third resource that I use which meets Quality Matters Standard 8.3 is a video on preservation of bog bodies. This video is useful for people who prefer visual and auditory modes of learning. The narrator is also visible and animated, useful for online students who like nonverbal cues of a speaker. The video is brief, and I include a series of guiding questions for learners who may have cognitive impairments or trouble focusing. These are also helpful to the average student to stay on track and extract important points. There are multiple ways to access the video, which meets Quality Matters Standard 8.5, Ease of Use, and Standard 508E. The video, which explains the chemical process of preservation in a bog environment, ties in with the module outcome of explaining how chemistry is used to make inferences about preservation and dating at archaeological sites. To meet Section 508B, the video contains closed captioning, which is synchronized with the speech for those with hearing impairments, and also helps reinforce information of non-hearing impaired students. I also use alternative text such that screen readers can identify the embedded video. One of the assessments I use in this module is a discussion question. The discussion involves commenting on the benefits and drawbacks of archaeotourism, which supports the module outcome, effectively discuss tourism at archaeological sites and possible solutions to the problems that arise. I use the following rubric to ensure that students are meeting the assessment outcomes. In addition to the various modes of delivery to accommodate diverse learners, like text, timelines, and videos, I use a simple background, standard font, appropriate color, and high contrast in order to promote readability, which complies with the Quality Matters Standard 8.4, Ease of Readability, as well as Section 508 Criteria C. In summary, I have tried to align the module resources with Quality Matters Accessibility Standards, Section 508, as well as the principles of universal design. Making content available to as wide an audience as possible is beneficial to students with sensory, motor, and cognitive impairments, students with no impairments, as well as instructors.